Now that it's officially summer, I give you permission to stare out the windows during the sermon. Not that you don't do that all the time, but now today you don't even have to pretend you're looking at me. Summer solstice. Somehow it just seems to slide by in the turns of the season. I mean, the first day of autumn, there's a crispness in the air and the leaves are turning. The first day of winter makes one think of the cold to come. The first day of spring is full of anticipation and flowers. But the first day of summer seems anticlimactic. The weather has been warm for quite some time. And culturally, summer begins 3 weeks earlier on Memorial Day. The longest day of the year, summer, somehow gets lost. It is the backdrop for our favorite activities like going to the beach and cruising with the top down, yet it kind of gets lost in the hustle and the bustle. We observe spring, fall, and winter. But in summer, we're too busy to pay attention. The weather is perfect and therefore goes unnoticed. Robert Frost wrote of the boredom of summer. There is a singer everyone has heard, loud a midsummer and midward wood bird, who makes the solid tree trunks sound again. He says the leaves are old, and that for flowers, midsummer is to spring as 1 to 10. He says the early petal fall is past when pear and cherry blooms went down in showers on sunny days, a moment overcast. And comes that other fall that we call fall, and he says the highway dust is over all. The bird would cease and be as other birds, but he knows in singing not to sing. The question he frames in all but words is what to make of a diminished thing. The highway dust is over all. That is our complaint, especially this year as we long for rain. The image of summer is 90 nonstop sunny days. But if that actually occurs, then summer loses its lushness. We live in a strange paradox. We live as if addicted to sunshine. I hope it rains, but not today. I have plans. If only there was a way to make it rain between midnight and 6 in the morning each night. In summer, we find a way to get busy taking it easy. One person who understood this was Walt Whitman. He's most famous for his book, Leaves of Grass. And I always thought that was a strange title, because I seldom think of grass as having leaves. Our crew-cut, manicured lawns never get the chance. Never give a chance for the grass to grow into leaves. It seems that Walt Whitman neglected to mow his lawn. And I remember as a child there was this small hill near my school where the grass grew wild. And the blades of grass grew as large as leaves, and we'd take a blade and place it between our thumbs and blow on it until it whistled. It was a screech of a summer song. And I'll spare you that rendition of that song and read you instead excerpts from Whitman's Song of Myself. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them for yourself. Loaf with me on the grass. Loose the stop from your throat. Not words, not music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your valved voice. Swiftly arise and spread around me the peace and knowledge that pass the argument of the earth. And I know that the hand of God is the promise of my own. And I know that the Spirit of God is the brother of my own spirit. And that when all the men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and the creation is love, and limitless are leaves, stiff or drooping in fields. A child said, "What is grass?" fetching me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may seek and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of vegetation. Smile, O voluptuous, cool-breathed earth, earth of the slumbering and liquid trees, earth of departed sunset, earth of the mountains misty-topped, earth of the vitreous pour of the full moon just tinged with blue, earth of shine and dark mottling tide the river, earth of the limpid gray of clouds brighter and clearer for my sake. Far swooping and elbowed earth, rich apple-blossomed earth, smile, for your lover comes. I think I could turn and live with the animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. What is known, I strip away. I launch all men and women forward with me into the unknown. The clock indicates the moment, but what does eternity indicate? We have thus far exhausted trillions of winters and summers, and there are trillions ahead. Births have brought us richness and variety, and other births will bring us richness and variety. I do not call one greater or one smaller. That which fills its period and place is equal to any. I know I have the best of time and space, and was never measured and never will be measured. I tramp the perpetual journey. Come, listen all. Not I, nor anyone else can travel that road for you. You must travel it yourself. It is not far. It is within reach. Perhaps you have been on it since you were born and did not know. Perhaps it is everywhere, on water and on land. This poem speaks of the glory of summer. In summer, we emerge from our homes and our offices and expand. We fling ourselves at the world. We dance in the street. We dangerously expose our skin. Summer is the season of extroversion. Walt Whitman self-expanded until it contained all the world. He embraced the world as his lover, and in racier parts of the poem that I did not read, his fair share of men and women. In summer, nature may not be blossoming like spring or as colorful as fall, but it is easy and abundant. During summer, nature is working hard so we don't have to. The warmth of morning stirs us to action, but the heat of the afternoon lulls us into lazy reflection. It was such reflection where Whitman loafed in the leaves of grass and realized he was one with everything at all times. I know I have the best of time and space and was never measured and never will be measured. I tramp the perpetual journey. Come, listen all. Not I nor anyone else can travel that road for you. You must travel it yourself. It is not far. It is within reach. Perhaps you were born on it and did not know. Perhaps it is everywhere, on water and on land. This summer, as you move across the water and the land, the path you are looking for is within yourself. Travel it boldly. Discover how you are connected to everything else. I remember the summers of my youth, spent along the shores of Lake Huron. The moonlit fires on the beach, and our gazing eye would reach to catch a falling star. Sometimes we would stay up all night, and we would watch the sunrise, and daylight hours would be spent swimming. In June, the water is blue and very flat like glass. But by August, the waves stir up the sand and it's like a frothing cup of cappuccino, a play grace. Margaret Fuller, the great Unitarian writer, visited the Great Lakes in 1843. And here is an excerpt from her book, Summer on the Lakes. But it was not so soon that I learned to appreciate the lake scenery. It was only after a daily and careless familiarity that I entered into its beauty. For nature always refuses to be seen by being stared at. but he who has gone to sleep in childish ease on her lap, or leaned an aching brow upon her breast, seeking their comfort with full trust as from a mother, will see all a mother's beauty in the look she bends upon him. She wrote of being swept up in the beauty of birds. One beautiful feature was the return of the pigeons every afternoon to their home. Every afternoon they came sweeping across the lawn, positively in clouds, and with a swiftness and softness of a winged motion more beautiful than anything of any kind I have ever known. Had I been a musician, such as Mendelssohn, I should felt that I could have improvised a piece of music that would have indicated the beauty over which their wings bore them. I will here insert a few lines which feebly indicate some of the features. Blessed be the kindly genius of the scene, the river, bending in unbroken grace, the stately thickets with their pathways green, fair lonely trees, each in its fittest place. Those thickets haunted by the deer and fawn, those cloud-like flights of birds across the lawn, the gentlest breezes here to delight to blow, and sun and shower and star are emulous to deck the show. Wondering, as Crusoe we surveyed the land, happier than Crusoe, we a friendly band. Blessed be the hand that reared this friendly home, the heart and mind of him to whom we owe hours of pure peace, such as few mortals know. May he find such, should he be led to roam, be tended by such ministering sprites, enjoy gaily childish days and such hopeful nights. And yet amid the goods to mortals given, to give to those goods again is most like heaven. Receiving and giving the gifts of nature is most like heaven. It's easy to know how we receive them, but how do we give those goods again? I think of how many in this fellowship are going camping next weekend. We have received the blessings from nature, and we want to pass them on to our children. Summer is a time to take in the beauty of the land, and is sometimes more beautiful when you're able to tell somebody, look at that. It's abundance. We should take time to observe the world and ourselves. In conclusion, I want to move from the sublime to the ridiculous. We heard from the 19th century feminist Unitarian Margaret Fuller. The 20th century and 21st century poet, feminist Marge Piercy writes about the attack of the squash people. And thus the people every year in the valley of humid July did sacrifice themselves to the long green phallic god and eat and eat and eat. They're coming, they're honest. The long striped gourds, the silky babies, the hairy adolescents, the lumpy vast adults, like trunks of green elephants, recite 50 zucchini recipes. Zucchini tempura, cream soup, sauté with olive oil, saying cumin, Tomatoes, onions, frittata, casserole of lamb, baked, topped with cheese, marinated, stuffed, stewed, driven through the heart like a stake. Get rid of old friends. They too have gardens and full trunks. Look for newcomers. Befriend them in the post office. Unload on them and run. Stop tourists in the streets. Take truckloads to Boston. Give to your Red Cross. Beg on the highway, please take my zucchini. I have a crippled mother at home with heartburn. Sneak out before dawn to drop them in other people's gardens. In baby buggies, at church doors. Shot. Smuggling zucchini into mailboxes is a federal offense. With suave reptilian glitter, you bask among your raspy fronds, sudden and huge as alligators. You give and give too much, like summer days limp with heat, thunderstorms bursting their bags on our heads as we salt and freeze and pickle for the too little to come. Summertime is here. May it be meaningful and may it be fun. Let us now listen to some more music and gaze at the beauty of summer.